Welcome back to JF Coin, the home of coin lovers, collectors, and treasure hunters. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in United States history, the Lincoln penny from the year 1970. This is not just another common cent in your change. Some varieties of the 1970 Lincoln 1 cent can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on the condition and rarity. So sit tight, because by the end of this video you will know exactly which 1970 pennies to look out for, the history behind them, and how much they can sell for in today's market. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design featured his portrait on the obverse, with wheat stalks on the reverse, until 1959 when the wheat ears were replaced by the Lincoln Memorial. This memorial design continued for decades, including in 1970. But that year, the United States Mint produced the penny with some unique twists that would later turn ordinary cents into rare collectibles. The year 1970 was a transition period in coin minting. The coins were still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin, unlike today's pennies which are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. Copper cents from this era have a heavier, richer feel compared to the modern ones you might find in your pocket change. The 1970 Lincoln cents were struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark. And here's where things start to get interesting. Among the 1970 coins, there are special varieties that make collectors' hearts race. The most famous is the 1970s small date penny. This variety was struck at the San Francisco Mint and is extremely rare in high grades. On the small date version, the top of the number 7 in 1970 is level with the top of the 0, and the word Liberty on the left side of the coin appears weak and faint compared to the large date version. This small difference can mean the difference between 1 cent and thousands of dollars. Another major variety is the 1970s double die obverse. In this variety, the inscriptions on the front of the coin, such as "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," show clear doubling. Under magnification, the letters look like they were stamped twice slightly apart. These double die coins are extremely sought after because of their rarity and striking visual appearance, but how much can these coins really be worth today? That's where the numbers get exciting. A regular circulated 1970 penny from Philadelphia or Denver might only be worth face value or a few cents if it is in average worn condition. However, if it is in mint state condition, meaning it has never been used in circulation and retains its original luster, it could fetch a few dollars from collectors who want pristine examples. The real money lies in the rare varieties. A 1970s small date penny in uncirculated condition can easily sell for hundreds of dollars. In the highest mint state grades certified by professional grading services, these coins have sold for over $3,000 at auction. The double die variety is even more impressive. In top condition, a 1970s double die obverse penny has been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars. One example sold for over $30,000. And here's the thing, these coins are still out there. People often find them in old jars, inherited collections, or even in pocket change if they are lucky. Because the copper cents from before 1982 are heavier and more durable, they have survived in decent condition over the decades, waiting to be discovered by sharp-eyed collectors. So what about the current market value? At the time of this recording, the demand for vintage Lincoln cents, especially rare varieties, is strong. Copper prices have also risen, which means even the metal content of these coins adds to their appeal. A regular circulated 1970 penny might only be worth a cent or two in cash, but a small date or double die in high grade can range anywhere from a few $100s to well over $30,000 depending on grade, rarity, and collector interest. For example, recent sales show that a 1970s small date penny in MS67 red condition sold for over $2,000, while a top-graded double die obverse fetched nearly $40,000 at auction. Even mid-grade examples of these varieties can bring in hundreds of dollars, making them highly desirable for collectors on all budgets. If you want to check your own coins, the best tools are a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and good lighting. Look carefully at the date, the word Liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust" for signs of doubling or small date features. If you think you have a valuable coin, it's worth getting it graded by a reputable third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. This professional verification can increase buyer confidence and help you get top dollar when selling. In conclusion, the 1970 Lincoln penny might seem like a common coin, but it hides some of the most valuable modern varieties in U.S. coinage. From the small date to the double die obverse, these coins can transform a humble cent into a collector's treasure. So the next time you come across a jar of old pennies, take a close look. You never know if you might be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. This is JF Coin reminding you that treasure is often hiding in plain sight. Keep collecting, keep searching, and who knows, your next great find might just be a little copper penny from 1970 worth a lot of money. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and value, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another exciting coin story. See you next time. Welcome to JF Coin, the place where coin lovers and collectors gather to uncover the hidden treasures in their pockets and coin jars. Today, we are going deep into the fascinating world of the 1980 Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, it is just 1 cent, right? Well, hold on to your seats, because some of these humble copper beauties are worth a small fortune today. And by the end of this video, you might be rushing to check your change. Let us begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909 when it replaced the Indian head cent designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse side features the famous profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Over the decades, the design has had minor tweaks, but the Lincoln portrait remains iconic and instantly recognizable. The reverse in 1980 still had the Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Now, why is the year 1980 special? This was a time when pennies were still made mostly of copper. In fact, 1980 Lincoln pennies are composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each one actually has a melt value that is higher than 1 cent just for the metal alone. But the real magic happens when we look at the collectible market, because certain variations, errors, and high-grade examples can fetch jaw-dropping amounts of money. Let us talk about mint marks. In 1980, Lincoln pennies were minted in 2 locations, Philadelphia with no mint mark, and Denver with a small d mint mark under the date. The Philadelphia mint produced over 7 billion pennies, and the Denver mint struck over 5 billion. That means they are common in circulation, but here's the twist. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated, or mint state condition is a lot rarer than you think. Coins that have survived in high grades, especially graded MS-67 or higher, can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Error coins are another goldmine. Some 1980 pennies have dramatic off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, or even lamination errors. These mistakes from the minting process can make an ordinary penny suddenly worth big bucks. For example, a 1980 Lincoln cent with a strong double die obverse, where the date or the word Liberty is clearly doubled, can sell for several $100s depending on condition. Extreme off-center strikes where part of the design is missing can be even more valuable to error collectors. Now let us talk about the top auction prices. The most valuable 1980 Lincoln penny known is one that graded an incredible MS-67 Plus red by PCGS, selling for several $1,000s. Imagine, a single cent worth more than a luxury vacation. Even coins in MS-66 red can bring $100 to $200. And when we look at the market today, collectors are actively searching for high-grade copper Lincoln Memorial cents because they are becoming harder to find in perfect shape. Copper spots, handling marks, and environmental damage reduce their value quickly, which is why untouched coins are in demand. You might be wondering about the exact current market value. Well, ordinary circulated 1980 Lincoln pennies are still worth face value in everyday transactions, but collectors will pay between 10 cents to $1 for lightly circulated examples in good condition. Uncirculated pieces can range from $2 to $20, and high-grade certified coins can bring in hundreds. Rare error coins or top population graded examples are where we see those eye-popping prices like $779, $348, or even more depending on the bidding competition among collectors. So how can you tell if your penny is valuable? Start by checking the condition. Is it bright, red, and shiny like the day it left the mint? Use a magnifying glass to inspect the date, lettering, and details for doubling or unusual features. Check the mint mark and see if it looks misplaced or has any unusual shapes. If you find something that looks out of the ordinary, it might be time to have it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. And remember, never clean your coin, as that can destroy its collector value instantly. One last tip. If you have a jar of old pennies at home, especially from before 1982, take the time to sort through them. Copper Lincoln pennies from the late 1970s and early 1980s are a sweet spot for collectors right now. With rising copper prices and the growing interest in vintage U.S. coins, the 1980 Lincoln penny has gone from a simple coin in your change to a potential mini treasure. Here at JF Coin, our goal is to help you recognize these treasures before they slip through your fingers. So keep an eye out for those shiny red beauties, the unusual minting errors, and the top condition examples that can turn a single cent into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Thanks for joining me on this coin collecting journey. If you enjoyed learning about the 1980 Lincoln penny, hit that like button, share this video with your fellow coin enthusiasts, and subscribe to JF Coin for more deep dives into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Until next time, happy collecting and may your next penny be a jackpot. Welcome to JF Coin, the channel where rare coins tell their stories and hidden treasures come to life. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the Lincoln 1 cent coin, specifically the 1982 issue. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but it carries a history, a unique transition in metal composition, and in some cases an incredible market value that could surprise even the most seasoned coin collectors. Let us start with the history. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, when it was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin originally featured wheat ears on the reverse, but in 1959 this design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial. Fast forward to 1982 and we reach one of the most important years in the history of the penny. Why was 1982 so special? This was the year the United States Mint made a major change to the composition of the 1-cent coin. Until 1982, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Rising copper prices made it too expensive to keep producing coins with this high copper content. The Mint decided to switch to a cheaper core of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. But the change happened partway through the year, meaning that 1982 pennies exist in both copper and zinc versions. Here is where it gets interesting. There are actually 7 different varieties of the 1982 Lincoln cent. They differ in composition, size of the date, and mint mark location. You can find 1982 copper large date, 1982 copper small date, 1982 zinc large date, 1982 zinc small date, and similar variations for coins minted in Denver. Because of this, collectors carefully weigh these coins to identify their type. A copper penny from 1982 weighs about 3.11 grams while a zinc penny weighs around 2.5 grams. Now let's talk about value. You might think a 1-cent coin is only worth 1 cent, but certain 1982 varieties, especially in high grades or with minting errors, can be worth a lot of money. Some rare 1982 small date copper pennies in uncirculated condition have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. The market value today for certain extremely rare 1982 Lincoln pennies can reach figures like $779,347 if you find one of the rarest error or transitional strike examples in pristine condition. Yes, you heard that right. A coin you might find in your change could be worth the price of a luxury home. The demand for these coins has been growing because they mark a turning point in U.S. coinage history. Collectors and investors alike see them as a bridge between the old era of solid copper pennies and the new era of zinc coins. High-grade coins certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC command premium prices. Even circulated coins can be valuable if they are the right variety. If you want to check your 1982 pennies, here's how. First, get a precise digital scale. Weigh the coin. If it is around 3.11 grams, you have a copper penny. If it is closer to 2.5 grams, it is zinc. Then look at the date with a magnifying glass. Small date and large date varieties have differences in the height and shape of the numbers, especially the 2. This is the first step toward identifying whether you might have a rare and valuable penny in your hands, but do not stop there. Some 1982 Lincoln cents have errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or broad strikes. These errors can increase the value dramatically. Coin dealers, auction houses, and online marketplaces have seen jaw-dropping prices for these coins when the right variety meets perfect condition. The current market in 2025 shows strong interest in 1982 Lincoln cents, especially small-date copper versions. Collectors are paying more than ever for certified high-grade examples. Even though the average circulated 1982 penny might sell for only a few cents, the rare varieties can bring life-changing amounts. This makes it an exciting year for coin hunters who check every penny they come across. Think about it, millions of people use pennies every day without realizing that one small copper-colored coin in their pocket could pay off their mortgage. That is the magic of coin collecting, and why channels like JF Coin are here to guide you. We believe knowledge is the key to treasure hunting, and every coin has a story waiting to be told. So the next time you get change from a store, take a closer look. Weigh your 1982 pennies, check the date, style, inspect for errors. You might be holding a piece of history worth far more than its face value. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the 1982 Lincoln 1-cent coin. If you enjoyed learning about this coin's history, value, and hidden potential, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin for more fascinating coin stories and tips on spotting treasures in your own pocket change. Your next discovery could be just one coin away. Welcome back to JF Coin, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures sitting right in your pocket change. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1988 Lincoln penny, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but could actually be worth a fortune if you have the right one. So stay tuned until the very end, because you will not want to miss the details that could turn a simple 1-cent coin into hundreds, thousands, or even more. Let us start with the basics. The Lincoln penny has been one of the most iconic coins in United States history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it has gone through several design changes over the decades. The 1988 Lincoln penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. On the obverse side you will see the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right with the word Liberty to his left and the date 1988 to his right. Just below the date you will notice the small D mint mark, indicating that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription "In God We Trust," and below the portrait is the artist's initials VDB for Victor David Brenner, the original designer of the Lincoln cent. Now let's talk about why the 1988 D penny has become such a hot topic among collectors. Most 1988 D pennies are worth only their face value in circulated condition. But a small number of them have rare and valuable errors or varieties that can sell for hundreds, thousands, or even over $700,000 in the right circumstances. That's not an exaggeration. In the world of coin collecting, a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector demand can send prices skyrocketing. One of the most famous varieties linked to the 1988 D penny is the so-called transitional reverse variety. In 1989 the U.S. Mint made subtle changes to the reverse design of the Lincoln cent. However, some 1988 pennies accidentally received the 1989 reverse design. This mistake created a rare and sought-after variety among collectors. The difference is visible when you closely inspect the letters in the word America on the reverse. On the rare variety, the letters AM are spaced differently and the designer's initials FG appear in a slightly different position. Spotting one of these varieties could mean you are holding a coin worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, but that's not all. High-grade uncirculated 1988 D pennies can also command strong prices. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC in mint state 67 or higher are extremely scarce. One top-graded 1988 D penny in pristine red condition fetched an auction price close to the $8,000 mark. And if you have a unique error coin, for example, a double die obverse, a broad strike, or an off-center strike, the value could be even higher. In rare cases of exceptional preservation and unique variety, valuations have been reported in the hundreds of thousands, with speculative collector markets sometimes listing dream prices in the $700,000 range. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1988 D penny? First, handle it with care. Avoid touching the coin's surfaces with your fingers as oils and dirt can damage it. Place it in a protective holder and get it evaluated by a reputable coin dealer or grading service. The cost of grading can be worth it if your coin turns out to be rare or high grade. Remember that in coin collecting, condition is king. Even a rare variety will lose significant value if it's scratched, worn, or corroded. Let's touch on the market side of things. Right now interest in Lincoln cents is booming. Collectors are paying premium prices for rare varieties and high-grade examples. Social media, YouTube, and online auction platforms like eBay have created a surge in awareness, meaning more people are looking through their pocket change than ever before. While the average 1988 D penny in circulation is worth only 1 cent, a rare transitional reverse or top-grade example could sell for life-changing amounts. In recent years, verified sales have shown that serious collectors are willing to pay big money for these coins, sometimes well above traditional price. Guide estimates the story of the Lincoln penny is also a story of American history. This coin has been in the hands of millions of Americans. It has passed through small towns and big cities, grocery stores and gas stations, pockets and piggy banks. The 1988 D penny is a time capsule of the late 1980s, a period of economic change, cultural shifts, and growing interest in modern coin collecting. Owning a rare variety is like holding a piece of history that is also a ticket to the exciting world of numismatics. So before you spend that penny, take a closer look. Grab a magnifying glass, study the details, and compare your coin with known varieties. Who knows, you could be sitting on a fortune. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting out, remember that treasures can be hiding in plain sight. Your next big discovery could be as close as the change in your pocket or the coins in your old jar at home. That wraps up today's deep dive into the 1988 D Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this journey through history, rarity, and value, make sure you subscribe to JF Coin for more amazing coin stories, market updates, and collector tips. Like this video, share it with your friends, and let's keep the coin hunting spirit alive. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Welcome back to JF Coin, the home of rare coins, hidden treasures, and the amazing stories behind them. Today we are diving deep into a coin that most people overlook in their change, but it could actually be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Yes, we are talking about the 2011 D Lincoln penny, a tiny copper-plated treasure that hides a big story, rich history, and in some rare cases, a surprisingly high value. Stay with me till the end, because I am going to reveal how some of these pennies have been sold for shocking amounts, and how you can check if the one in your pocket could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, originally created to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the years, it has gone through many design changes, but the coin we see today still proudly carries the portrait of one of America's greatest leaders. The year 2011 was part of the Shield Reverse series, which was introduced in 2010 to honor Lincoln's preservation of the Union during the Civil War. On the obverse side, we have the iconic profile of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse side, we see the Union shield with 13 stripes and a banner reading E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. The letter D under the date tells us it was minted in Denver. The Denver Mint is known for producing billions of coins each year, and in 2011, it struck hundreds of millions of these Lincoln Shield pennies. That might make you think they are all common and worthless beyond face value, but the truth is, certain varieties, mint errors, and high-grade uncirculated examples can be worth serious money to collectors. Most 2011 D pennies in your change will be worth just a cent, but the value jumps dramatically if your coin is in pristine condition or has a rare minting error. In top grades, especially MS67 or higher, certified coins have sold for huge amounts because collectors are willing to pay a premium for perfection. Imagine a small 1-cent coin being sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars just because it has a flawless strike, no scratches, and perfect luster, but that is not the only factor. Some 2011 D pennies were struck on improper planchets, had doubled dies, or showed off-center strikes. Error coins like these can easily bring in $50, $100, or even more depending on rarity and demand. Collectors hunt for these oddities because they are tangible mistakes from the mint, and every mistake tells its own story. Right now, in the coin collecting market, a regular circulated 2011 D penny is worth just face value. However, an uncirculated example straight from a mint roll can be worth anywhere from 10 cents to a couple of dollars depending on quality. If you have one graded MS67 by PCGS or NGC, you could be looking at $100 or more. And here is where it gets really interesting. The highest auction prices for this coin in perfect grades have reached into the hundreds, and in rare cases, certain error coins have been valued in the thousands. Market interest is still strong, and some rare varieties have a current value floating in the ballpark of several $100,000 for unique high-grade examples. Yes, believe it or not, certain rare error specimens have been estimated at market values of $779,345, though these are extreme outliers and not your everyday penny. Still, it shows how far the right coin can go in the right condition at the right time. First, take out your magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and examine your 2011 D penny closely. Look for these signs: bright, full luster with no scratches or wear. This means it might be uncirculated. Any doubling of the letters or numbers, especially on Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date center designs where the rim is uneven. Planchet errors like missing parts or clipped edges. If you spot something unusual, it might be worth sending your coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once certified, you can list it on auction sites or sell directly to coin dealers and collectors. The 2011 D Lincoln Shield penny might seem like an ordinary piece of pocket change, but in the world of coin collecting, nothing is truly ordinary. With the right eye, you could spot a gem hiding in plain sight, a penny worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. So next time you get change, don't just toss your pennies into a jar. Take a closer look. You never know when you might find your own treasure. This has been JF Coin, your guide to the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2011 D penny, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin stories, and share this video with your friends so they can start checking their change too. Who knows, maybe one of you will find the next rare penny that takes the coin world by storm. Welcome back to JF Coin, your trusted home for coin knowledge, history, and the fascinating world of rare money. Today, we are going deep into the story of the Lincoln penny, specifically the modern 1-cent coins from the year 2014, and exploring how this small copper-colored coin, which many people overlook, can actually be worth far more than face value if you know what to look for. We will uncover the history of this design, the important details collectors watch for, the hidden minting secrets that can make a coin worth hundreds or even thousands, and the current market value updates you need to know today. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in the United States. First issued in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse shows the famous portrait of President Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on one side and the date of issue on the other. Over the years, the reverse design has changed, from the wheat ears of the original wheat penny era, to the Lincoln Memorial starting in 1959, and then in 2010 the shield reverse we know today. The 2014 penny features this modern shield design, representing Lincoln's role in preserving the Union. Now, while most 2014 pennies in circulation are worth just 1 cent, certain rare varieties and conditions can push their value into the hundreds or even thousands. This is where coin collectors get excited, and where your loose change can become treasure. You see, coins are struck in huge numbers by the U.S. Mint, but sometimes small differences occur: double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. Even a tiny imperfection that happened during minting can drastically increase a coin's value. For the 2014 penny, one of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse, where the date, letters in Liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust" show visible doubling. There are also rare off-metal strikes where the penny was accidentally struck on a dime planchet. Those can be worth hundreds. Condition is everything. A 2014 Lincoln penny fresh from the mint, graded at the top levels like MS-67 or MS-68 by PCGS or NGC, can sell for impressive amounts. While most circulated coins might be worth only a cent or two, an uncirculated high-grade example can bring $50, $100, or more. Certain special finishes from mint sets or proof sets also command premium prices. Proof coins, with their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details, are struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark. If you have a flawless 2014 S-proof penny, collectors are willing to pay well for it. Let's talk numbers. As of the current market data, the average collector-quality 2014 penny is selling for around 77 cents to $9 for better conditions and certain minor errors. But rare examples, especially those with dramatic errors, can skyrocket. One known high-grade 2014 Lincoln Shield cent sold for over $779 at auction. There are reports of other rare examples with extreme minting mistakes that have reached thousands of dollars. This is why coin hunting is so thrilling. You never know when you'll find one of these gems. So how do you identify a valuable 2014 penny? First, check the mint mark. There are 3 mints that produce these coins: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark for proofs. Philadelphia coins in very high grades are particularly hard to find without any contact marks. Denver coins are more common, but error varieties can still make them valuable. The S-mint proofs, if perfectly preserved, are favorites among serious collectors. Second, use a magnifying glass to inspect the date, letters, and overall surface for doubling, cracks, or other anomalies. Third, consider grading the coin if you believe it is exceptional. Certified coins generally sell for higher prices. The metal composition of the 2014 penny is also an interesting detail. While older Lincoln cents before 1982 contained 95% copper, modern ones like the 2014 are made of copper-plated zinc, 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper plating. This change was made in the 1980s due to rising copper costs. While this makes them cheaper to produce, it also means the surface can wear or corrode more easily, so high-grade examples are less common in circulation after years of handling. Collectors often overlook modern coins, thinking they need to be ancient or from the 1800s to be worth money. The truth is, coins from just a decade ago can be worth a fortune if the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand comes together. The 2014 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of this. And because billions were made, there's still a good chance to find rare varieties in circulation today, in your change, in old jars, or in bank rolls. So next time you get a handful of pennies, don't just spend them. Take a closer look. That small copper-colored coin could be hiding a big payday, and remember, at JF Coin, we bring you the stories behind the coins, from their rich history to their current market value. We help you understand not just what a coin is worth, but why collectors value it. Whether you're a beginner just starting your collection or an experienced numismatist hunting for your next big find, the Lincoln penny remains one of the most exciting coins to search for. If you enjoyed learning about the 2014 Lincoln 1 cent and its potential value, make sure to like this video, share it with other collectors, and subscribe to JF Coin for more deep dives into the world of coins. We will continue to bring you the latest market updates, coin hunting tips, and incredible stories of rare finds. Who knows, your next penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. Stay tuned, keep hunting, and keep your eyes open. This is JF Coin, signing, happy collecting, and may your change always hold a treasure. Welcome back to JF Coin, your trusted place for rare coin news, hidden treasures in your pocket change, and amazing stories from the world of coins. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable modern coins in U.S. history, the 2017 P. Lincoln penny, also known as the 2017 P. 1 cent coin. If you have one in your pocket or coin jar right now, you might be holding something worth much more than 1 cent. In fact, some of these have been selling for hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on condition, errors, and rarity factors. So stay tuned, because we are going to explore everything from its origin and unique design to the current market value and how you can identify the ones worth a lot of money. The Lincoln penny is one of the longest-running coin series in American history. First issued in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, it replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of the symbolic Lady Liberty. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny has gone through different reverse designs, metal compositions, and mint marks. But in 2017, something unusual happened. something that makes that year's penny stand out in the entire 100-plus years of Lincoln cent history. For the first time ever, the Philadelphia Mint used a small letter P mint mark on the Lincoln penny. Before 2017, pennies struck at the Philadelphia Mint did not carry a mint mark at all. This change was made to mark the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint. The addition of the P was a special one-year-only feature. That means 2017 was the only year in American history when the Lincoln penny struck in Philadelphia carried the letter P under the date. This alone makes it historically important for collectors. Now you might be thinking, millions of these coins were made, so why would they be valuable? And yes, it's true, the U.S. Mint struck over 4.3 billion 2017 P pennies, so most of them are still only worth 1 cent. But here's the exciting part. Coins in exceptional condition, especially those graded by professional services as mint state 67, 68, or even higher, can sell for very high prices to collectors who want the finest examples for their collections. Even more valuable are the error coins from that year. Errors can include double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and misaligned dies. For example, a 2017 P penny with a strong double die on the obverse has sold for well over $100 in uncirculated condition. There are also reports of dramatic die breaks that create raised metal on Lincoln's face or in the fields of the coin. Some of these have been listed online for $500 or more. And then there are perfect condition coins. In early 2023, a top-graded 2017 P Lincoln cent in pristine mint state condition sold for well over $2,000 at auction. Now, let's talk about the current market. The regular 2017 P penny in circulated condition is worth face value, 1 cent. But if you have an uncirculated one pulled straight from a bankroll, it might sell for 10 cents to $1 depending on quality. High mint state grades can reach anywhere from $20 to $100. Errors, as we mentioned, can range from $50 to several $100 depending on type and visibility. And for the absolute finest quality examples certified at MS 68 or higher, the price can jump into the thousands. The record prices for this coin are shocking for something so recent. Why is the market willing to pay so much for such a modern coin? It's a mix of historical significance, one-year-only features, and the popularity of Lincoln cents among collectors. The P mint mark in 2017 tells a unique story, and collectors love having complete historical runs of a coin series. Plus, modern coin grading has pushed demand for ultra-high-quality coins. People are willing to pay big money to have the best example. So here's my advice: check your change, your coin jars, and especially any rolls of 2017 pennies you might have tucked away. Look for the P mint mark under the date. Inspect the coin carefully under good light for any doubling, cracks, or unusual features. If you think you have a top-grade example, consider sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even if it costs a bit to grade, the payoff can be big if your coin comes back with a high mint state rating. Remember, with coins like this, patience can also be a strategy. Right now, billions of 2017 P pennies are still in circulation, but over time, many will be lost, damaged, or worn down. In 20 or 30 years, pristine examples and rare errors will become much harder to find, and their value could rise even higher. In summary, the 2017 P Lincoln penny is more than just a modern cent. It's a piece of U.S. mint history, the only one of its kind, and a great example of how something in your pocket change could be worth far more than face value. Whether you're a casual coin hunter or a serious collector, this is one coin you don't want to overlook. So, keep your eyes open, keep searching, and who knows, the next time you get change at the store, you might be holding a small copper-plated treasure that could sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you found this video helpful and exciting, don't forget to subscribe to JF Coin for more deep dives into rare coins, market updates, and insider tips on spotting hidden value in everyday change. Give this video a like, share it with fellow collectors, and let me know in the comments if you have a 2017 P penny in your collection. Until next time, happy coin hunting and may your next find be worth a fortune.